we going to play today? Scorn. Now, a few words ahead before we start Scorn. First things first, I have a bot that hopefully is going to work. It is a game that has a photosensitivity warning. This game is based on a Swiss artist called HR Giger, and he is best known for the design of the Alien movies and the environment where the alien lives in. That was his very specific style. This game is extremely like that. So I assume the dev of the game is a huge fan of him, or they just wanted to make a game in homage to HR Giga because he's dead, sadly. And just a heads up for that. So there's gore, there's a psychological aspect to the game as well. So if any of that is a problem to you, I say do not watch it because it makes no sense. Like you should not feel bad or very uncomfortable to watch this game. Yeah, and even worse if you cannot deal with it. So please be just aware of that. If you can deal with that, then you're more than welcome to be here in the stream and watch the word of this game. Another word I wanna say is basically this game was in the making for a very long time. I think like up to 5 years. This game is made by one person and they took their time, which I appreciate because you can see that they put a lot of effort into this game. Now, one misconception that a lot of people had with this game is that it took quite some time to make. It delayed its release over and over again, and then it got released. And then a lot of people complained about the game. Not because the game is broken or anything, but they complained about it is too short. It's not what they expected. And I have to say, when we saw trailers of the game before it even came out, you had this, even I had the idea of like, okay, it's gonna be a game setting in HR Giga's environment style. There will be very weird weapons, and it's gonna be a shooter, and it's gonna be puzzle. But like, I think a lot of people thought of something like Doom, but extremely in a slow way, where the experience is more the thing than the shooting aspect. And in the end, I have to say, like, yeah, first I had also a similar idea about the game from the trailers. And since I waited until I purchased this game, and I saw the people writing those critiques, I have to say, I also changed my look at the game. And I have to say, like, I think a lot of people go into this game with the wrong assumption. This is more of an experience than an actual game. Think of it when you would go to a museum that has interactive sections where you can experience something. It's something similar to that. So expect not like, are we gonna run around and shoot things and this and that. It's really more of we experience we experience a world. Yes, there will be puzzles. Yes, there will be guns. There will be shooting if necessary. But mostly it is a experience. And I think a lot of people don't understand this. You have always to keep in mind video games are not just the hoo funny thing, fast action paced thing. Video games can be anything genre wise when it comes to actual gaming. From fast paced to very slow, text based. But something a lot of people also often leave out is games can also be um, games can also be art, and this game falls into that. This game doesn't want to be the super interactive, crazy gaming experience. This game wants you to throw into a world where you have no idea what's going on, where you have no idea why does it exist, how does it work. You all have to kind of figure it out and experience what's going on. And that's what I mean. Like, some games are built around that idea that it should be an experience and less of a game. So if you think back, if you ever watched my VOD of this, or you were here for the stream when we played Greece, for example, Greece falls also into that category. Yes, it has more gameplay than this game will have, but it's also meant as an art piece, an experience, a visual representation of the topic that the game wants to portray. And that's what I mean. Like, not every game needs to be just a game. Some games just want to express an artistic piece and experience, and this game is gonna be that. So just be aware of that, and just set the expectations on that point and not on, hey, this is gonna be the most amazing game ever. As a game, just expect a visual experience with some gameplay and interactivity. Yeah, I just wanted to say that ahead of time because a lot of people have just the wrong expectation about this. Mm. Whew. Okay. So, apart from the trailers, I have no idea what's going on in this game. And I most likely expect that I will get no explanation for it. But that's how it is. Anyway, let's go over here. Du-du-du-du. Okay, one moment. There we go. Again, the same warning I gave you ahead. My bot is working. Which I'm glad. Mm. Yes, the game mutes itself if I click out of it. I will take the goal away for the moment. So as per usual, I played a little bit of the game because I always do an audio check ahead of time. That's why you see here continue. But we're gonna start a new game again. Yes, we're gonna override that. And welcome to Scorn. So, as we saw, we fell down here. It's an interesting intro because on one side we found ourselves in a complete different place and we start here, which makes you think like maybe it's a memory. Maybe this is the actual timeline and the first part of the intro was just a glimpse of the future. I don't know. But you can speculate. We can't do anything here. I will say I love the design of Alien and the environment an alien lives in from the movies, which was designed by H.R. Giger. And this person has a very good eye for his style and recreating it. Of course, it's all very disturbing for most people because it's so much based around an organic matter like our body is built up. But it's more than that. And the interesting thing is like it takes a very creative mind to come up with this. Because it's not such a simple design as it might look like. I never read much about him, so I don't really know if he ever talked about that, how he came to be, to develop this style. Because I think most people are, when they look at those things, this design, most people are like, this person must be disturbed and have like a crazy mind. But I disagree. It's like, you don't have to be crazy or anything to come up with something like this. It's quite abstract, yes, but that doesn't mean that you need to be having like a bad creative mind or anything. I mean, you could potentially say the same thing about anybody who makes monster designs. It's not just him. It's like, monsters, right? Artists have to come up with those kind of monsters. And that's not easy. And I mean it. It's like coming up with an original idea, or at least something that is looking a lot like an original idea, is quite difficult. I think a lot of people who like Pokemon might know what I mean. You know, a lot of people go still on and on about how later Pokemon games introduce Pokemon that seem not very original. But I think they forget how many Pokemon exist. And it's at some point really difficult to still come up with an original design for something that stands out, for something that is still like, okay, quite interesting, quite acceptable. If you know the card game Magic the Gathering, even that, like, they have so many things in their lore. So basically, if you want to understand, here we have a console for this door, but we are missing something. We cannot actually use it. Yes, I played this part, so we need this. Quite gruesome. Certainly not a key that you want in your life. So let's do this first before I continue with the topic. So yes, this thing is a puzzle door. A very simple puzzle door though. Open it, and then you can do that. Sadly, this door don't want to stay open. It also seems to stop when I'm blocking it, so that's a good thing. Yeah, but let's, on the topic of Magic the Gathering, if you know that, it's a trading card game from Wizard of the Coast. And it's going on since a long time now. And for every set of cards and expansion to those sets, a lot of lore is kind of written because they have novels behind it. But every expansion has mostly its own world, and therefore you need to create a ton of characters, monsters, and yeah, you can imagine how difficult that is to run something like that for, I don't know, so many years, still coming up with designs and monsters. I cannot jump, by the way. Um, Honestly, I love this design. Like, it's one thing to come up with this design, it's a complete different one to set the mood. Like, all the mist that you have to set up. Still, it needs also to look good. The lightning is not like just straight down lightning, it's really, really good lightning. And very convincing. I love it. But yeah, so it's really hard to come up with original ideas and monsters and so on. I guess you can help me? Maybe? But I think... Lovely. Okay, that doesn't work right now. Oh, looks like a pot. Okay. Bring something down. Probably the last thing I want in my face, but hey. That's interesting. Oh, that's a nice interface. Okay. Oh, it's inverted. That's why. Okay. Seems to connect things. It's only those three, huh? Only those three things. But does that even help me? Okay, it's basically connecting rails. Which is this, this, other side. Assume this is for transporting something. Going here. There. 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 Okay. Yes, we can run. I'm really, really glad that the game includes running, because I think a lot of places here are empty. So it's good that you have the ability to run. Okay. Well, well, well. Well, that's one way to dispose of your dead. Bring out the dead. Bring out your dead. I mean, whoever constructed this seems not to be here anymore. Not a thing to grab. Okay. Seems not to be useful right now. What are you doing? I see. I can imagine better things in my free time than using that device. A door. Okay. Okay. That's a problem. I don't know if it's actually true about this game, but I read that it is more meant to not actually kill things and use the guns, which is an interesting approach. Okay, we have to transport something. I don't think that's gonna help us right now. Elevator. Elevator. Ah! If this was Dark Souls, it would go to the ceiling. But this isn't Dark Souls. This isn't Dark Souls. Okay. More railings. Wait. Just curious first. Looks almost like a heart. It's probably not a heart. Hmm. I love this volumetric light and fog. It's really good. I also liked all the dust particles in the air. Or the door with this thing that we cannot use. Hmm. More of those things. Feet? Or something. Hmm. Transportation devices. Okay. Do, 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 do. Quite interesting how still everything is kind of working. Apparently, since nobody's actually here anymore, whoever built this. Oh, we're back at the beginning. Okay. Blinding. You know, it would be even more funny if, well, funny. I think the thought is funny if all of this is like a growing environment. It's not really built, it grows like that and can be like manipulated while it's growing to do certain structures. Who knows? Oh, what do we get here? Okay. Okay. So you pick something from there and would put it there, which I assume transports it down. Now the question is, how can we... Okay. Well, at least that in the middle there seems to be cracked. So therefore, I don't think we want that. Okay, I grab it, but I cannot actually move it. That, on the other hand, I can move. Interestingly, I see. So I can only put a one block there. Would you suffice? Okay, apparently it doesn't want that one. So only these here seem to be different. These here seem to be different from the rest. I see, the game basically wants me to I have to kind of get that out. Would that work? Apparently. No. Almost. Who built those machines? Disgusting. They don't even work. Okay, so you have to get that somehow away. That means we need to get you up. That means you need to go out of the way. Let's see. You need to go up. That means that needs to go out of the way. And then we need space. Space! Okay. Final frontier. Space. I assume I cannot move that. Yep. Okay. What are you? You're a single one? You're a single one. Okay. These here are basically okay because they're out of the way. Now I have to get rid of that single one there. But that also means I have to temporarily... Most likely I can't just go up. Oh, so I have to go up first. I have to go up first. So let's just put you here for a moment. So, oh, it even needs to go completely up. Okay. Okay, so the only way to get you up is either to go to the right and then up, but would that even make a difference? Because in the end I need to do this anyway. also need to move. Potentially, but don't have to. No. Okay, that is not possible to move up, so I have to move it first to the left, up, left, and then I have to move them down. Okay. Nope. So, where is the connection? I try to see it. Okay, so that works. That's good to know. But that would literally block the entire thing. Whoops. We have single ones and we have dual ones. Kind of think that this could potentially go here. But the question is, can I... There needs to be space to move them. Whoops. Okay. You just for a moment over here. Just so I understand, this is a dual. And you are a single. I think that this should go here. So now is the question, how do I move this entire thing here? And maybe I need to actually go to the right first, potentially. But then again... Okay, I have only horizontals. Still need somehow like a missing space. Space! So that doesn't work. Like, I wish I had an additional row, it would make it a bit easier. Okay, so if I would use the right side, and then I had to put that. How do I get that there? Yay, puzzles. So if I put the one down there, I would have space to put a horizontal there. But that also means the horizontal has to move somehow there. So how do I move the horizontal there? Down, 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 down. Can I just remove the single ones? Like, literally by being an asshole and destroying all of them. Whoops. Because the dual ones seem not really to work, but if I can get rid of the single ones, I kind of get space that I need. Potentially, that would work, but also seems tedious. But if it works, maybe. Whoops. I mean, it would free up space, which would make it a bit easier to deal with. It doesn't even take it. Okay. It doesn't even touch it. So I guess this one time it was an exception. Okay, but I have a little bit more space there now. So I can only move this from that position or the right position. But even if I go to the right position, I still need to get up. So I could potentially do this. And now I could get one of those down. At least I thought I could them get down there, but apparently not. Joy. Okay, so it really only works with this. Even if I put this, then I stay here, then it is in the position for most of the way it should go. But now I don't. Now I cannot move this down there where I actually need it to be. Because this thing is always going to block, especially the way that I actually need to go with the dual horizontal ones. So how do you get there? Oh, maybe this makes it move over there. One down, but then I'm blocked again. I can move it here, which doesn't matter because I then cannot move here anymore. So how do you deal with this? You need to go there. I have 4 single ones. And I need to move a lot of stuff from there. So these two cannot be blocked at all times because even if I move this up here, over here and up here, or just go from down here to the complete up, this section is basically a section that cannot really be blocked except by single ones. And it's still the best part to put down the horizontal ones out of the way. I'm so smart with this puzzle. Stuck at the first puzzle for 5 hours. What a streamer. Yeah, I know. These kinds of puzzles were never, like, my favorites. At all. And I'm also more thinking about the puzzle instead of just trying. That's not always the smartest thing to do. It just boggles my mind because I have like 3 horizontals. And all I can think of, I wanna put them where I want them put them. Here, and here, and here, and they will be out of the way. But I cannot even get them here as long this thing here is. That's the problem. Like, even if I put it up here, now I have no way to move those horizontals in any capacity out of the way. Because I have a dual one here, which blocks this. The only thing I can consider of trying is literally, in my biggest hopes, that the arm is going to destroy this, but I cannot put it up. That's the problem. Because you always need a feeding tube behind one of those pods. And now I simply have the same problem. I wish I had my mouse. It would be far more easier to explain than with this arm. I want the horizontals out, but I can only get one out of the way, but only for a moment. And then I would have to transport the horizontal on the bottom left side, which is in the middle of the left side right now. Like, that one was at the bottom left before. That is basically out of the way until the one I need to move would come to that section. Then I would need to move that. In other words, it needs to be gone anyway. Like, no exception. Because here's the thing, like, here is movable things, right? Since this is a vertical one, it needs these 2 rails until here. Then it goes down, uses those 2 rails over here, and then up. That's the solution for the pod. But the problem is it's blocked by all those horizontals. And that's the problem. The problem is that the horizontals cannot go on this rail. No chance, because there's always a non-tube feeding portion to move the horizontals. So they can only move on this part here. And this one always blocks them. It blocks them always, so they cannot go here, where they would be completely out of the way. Like, you can place one, a single one, a double one, a double one. But they are all in the way. And as we have seen, it is not accepting horizontal ones because we are missing the tube thing there. So I cannot put this vertical one up here. Impossible. I can put single ones, but the single ones seem not to be accepted at all. I think the one that fell down was a single one with a crack like this one. So how are you going to do this? This is already filled up with 2 single ones. I cannot even shove a horizontal one in there if I wanted to, because the vertical one here is always going to block the access to that. So it's like the self-contained 9-piece puzzle thing that with one missing tile that you have to move around until it somehow fits. It feels like that way. I'm sorry. I just don't get it how that should ever work. I know this, it must work, otherwise it wouldn't be in the game. No. So, even if I put this here, like, sure, you would now think like, okay, you're not gonna use, yeah, I can do this, but then the only way to get them lower is through this. And that's the problem. I can't. So that's not the solution. I can only move the single ones, take them here and place them here. So they're mostly out of the way. Actually, I can only place 2 here. But I can place a single one here. So for example, not this one. But I can place one here. Here, this single one is out of the way. It doesn't matter, like, I really can't put any of the verticals away. So I can take this, put it here, and that's fine. I can take this, I cannot put it up there because I can put it here. That's okay. This, put it here, out of the way. I can take this, put it down here. Now the single ones are gone. Like, there are no problem here. Nobody cares about them. So is it going to be a wonderful gameplay of, here we go, and put it here. And we shove that over there. We shove that there. Now I take this and here, but now we have to move that single one somehow out of the way. So how I'm going to shove this single one out of the way? That's the next question. So I need you actually out of the way. You cannot remain there. So how do I get you there? Even if I do this, now I cannot move this. I can move this like that, but I cannot move you down. If I do, I cannot move the vertical one anymore. But this single one needs to be out of the way. So I guess you need to go over here. Need you to be here instead. So I can move you here. Now I can move you here. You here. Now I can move you here. There we go. Okay. Probably extremely complicated in comparison to other people. But yeah. Still, I did it, Reddit. Oh, hi there. I have questions. Why are we growing people in pods? Is this the Matrix, but like the other version? Version? Feels like.